This video is sponsored by Whatnot. This was a very neatly stacked pile of 100 free LEGO sets. Yeah. See, when you spend over a certain threshold on the LEGO website, they give you free sets. I mean, they aren't free, but they kind of are. But they most definitely aren't, even if they almost arguably are. Regardless, over the years I've built a lot of LEGO, and so acquired a lot of these sets. So I'm going to build precisely 100 of them. So I'm going to pull the themes out of a hat to decide the order. So we're starting with LEGO ideas. It turns out that anyone can design a LEGO set, and provided it gets enough votes and approved by LEGO themselves, it gets turned into a real set like these ones here. Well, 11 smaller LEGO idea sets have been released as free gifts. First there's the bookshelf, which wouldn't look out of place on a bookshelf. Then the cosmic cardboard adventure, which looks like something I'd build in real life. It even has a cat. The vintage car uses surfboards as side panels, and so of course I had two. Then there was a flying car, and so of course I had two. Next, a rocket ride, a mini fairground ride with a crank to make it really move. Followed by an absolutely gorgeous sailboat. And so of course I had two. Yeah, I might have used too many bubbles for this. The Castaway set was teeming with details, including a crab, parrot and raft, as was the Goonies set, but I don't know enough about the film to say anything insightful about its teemingness with details. The Micro Command Center is built in the classic space style, and features an adorable space baby, and the snails were amazing. I promise this is the last time, but I have to. Lastly, there's this beautiful Galileo set, the first of many historical figures, and this splat gear on the back rotates the Earth around the sun. Anyway, talking of free LEGO, I'm giving away the largest LEGO set ever released, the Death Star, thanks to this video's sponsor, Whatnot. Whatnot is a shopping app where you can buy and sell pretty much anything, including LEGO, trading cards, collectibles, clothing, and even snacks. In fact, I didn't quite have 100 free LEGO sets when making this video. Suppose I'm using Whatnot to fill in the gaps. To enter the giveaway, sign up to Whatnot with my link in the description or the on-screen QR code. You'll also get £10 completely free added to your account to spend on anything within the app, and if you then spend it, you'll be entered into the giveaway twice. So use the QR code or link below to sign up to Whatnot today for a chance to win the LEGO Death Star, plus your free £10 credit. Next up then, add-ons, miscellaneous, don't want to do that one yet, 3 in 1, where is it? Historical, there we go. I'm cheating, this one just flows on nicely from ideas. See, there are 8 more free sets portraying historical figures. There's Gustav Eiffel inside the apartment atop the Eiffel Tower, which I actually built on the Eiffel Tower itself before then building the Eiffel Tower itself. Followed by a tribute to primatologist Jane Goodall, of whom I was immensely fond. Pioneering aviator Amelia Earhart is next, beside the Lockheed Vega 5B in which she became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Then another transport tribute, Ernest Shackleton, aboard the lifeboat that saved him from the ice-trapped Endurance. The other 4 historical sets pay homage to authors, and are all delightfully built as books. The first sees Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, which I actually built outside of his London home. Then Jane Austen is depicted in a beautiful Georgian living room, with portraits referencing her work. The third honours Danish author Hans Christian Andersen, known for his countless iconic fairy tales, whilst the last celebrates French author Jules Verne, a favourite of mine, with the set portraying a number of stories in steampunk miniature. I love how even though all 4 are books, they all manage to be different from each other. So Charles Dickens is built on top of the book, for Jane Austen the book is standing up, Hans Christian Andersen the book is open, and for Jules Verne it's open at a different angle and it has a bookmark. I really love the Nautilus submarine. Okay, where were we? Disney. There are only 3 Disney sets, but they're all really quite unique. The first celebrates the company's centenary, with Mickey Mouse, an animation desk, and coolest of all, a working film projector. The Steamboat Willie set is entirely black and white, and its paddles and smokestacks even move. They actually already made Steamboat Willie as a LEGO idea set 7 years ago, but it's now obscenely expensive, even second-hand, so I think this is a really cool free gift. And finally, there's a vintage TV, with interchangeable screens showing different movies. Next, dioramas. LEGO has so far released dioramas of 4 different biomes, a wonderfully colourful undersea diorama, the brick-built wildlife of the African savannah, the northern lights over a mountain valley, and my favourite, a dense jungle. So of course it's time to ask, does it come with a LEGO frog? Yes it does. Alright, the next theme is, well, this is my favourite one, miniatures. LEGO actually had a gift with purchase series called Houses of the World, which later evolved into Shops of the World. There's the South American house, North African house, Alpine chalet, traditional Chinese house, bakery, sweet shop, florist, and grocers. I really love these and how uniform they are. My only issue is at their micro scale. They're too small for LEGO minifigures. But LEGO have just released a new series called Restaurants of the World, which is minifigure scale. So far this is the only one, but I'm very excited for the series to continue. But it gets really cool with the miniature Ninjago sets. These four are actually miniature versions of real sets. So this is Ninjago City based on this set. This is the City Docks based on this one. This is Ninjago City Gardens, which I actually built a couple of times for previous videos, and this is Ninjago City Markets. And just like their full-size counterparts, they join together to form a larger, albeit still miniature city. Which brings us to my favourite of the video, and in fact one of my favourite LEGO sets of all time, the Mini Modulars. It features miniature versions of the first 5 modular buildings, of which I only have 2, because they're now insanely expensive, but I'll show you nonetheless for comparison. Next up, add-ons. The next 7 sets are different in that they all come with a specific LEGO set, sort of adding on to it. There's a botanical gate, an extension to the botanical gardens, and the Simpsons living room, which came with the recent Krusty Burger set. The other 5 all came with modular buildings. The vintage taxi with the boutique hotel, the moving truck with the jazz club, the retro food truck with the Natural History Museum. This set accidentally came with 2 sticker sheets, and although I cannot fathom what I'm going to do with the extras, I am unreasonably happy about it. The corner kiosk with the Tudor corner, and finally the vintage parade car with this year's shopping street. A few sets from earlier also add on to larger sets the way these do, but just felt more fitting in other categories. I'm getting really bored now, so we're going to speed run whatever the next theme is. We'll go for seasonal. Ready? Valentine's Day chocolates, penguins in love, birthday diorama, Easter chicks, Easter basket, Halloween cat and mouse, luminous ghost, lucky knots, lion dance, baubles, ballerina, horse-drawn carriage, Santa's workshop, gingerbread house, gingerbread train, and gingerbread market. Wait, I don't think this one's gingerbread. You know the drill. Let's go for that top one. 3 in 1. This set can either be built as a cat, a witch, or a dragon, but there aren't enough pieces to build all 3 at once. But since I buy a lot of LEGO, I had 3 so could do them all at the same time. Ralph really loved the cat. This set, however, can be built in one of 12 different ways. A coral reef, an ice cream, a crab, a castle, a sailboat, a lion, a campfire, a koala, a carousel, a plane, a mountain, and a lighthouse. I hope there's no more because I'm running out of screens. Again, all 12 can't be built simultaneously, but again I had 12 so could build them all. Penultimately then, miscellaneous sets. This is a sort of catch-all category, a catch-all-gery if you will, with everything from a LEGO shop, Pirate Island and Pirate Park, to a sandwich shop, firework display and amusement park. Which means, does it come with a LEGO frog? Yes, there are 2 yellow frogs and 2 yellow ducks. Then there was a whole family of ducks, plus a cassette player and record player, as well as a tiny castle, alien diner and hot chocolate stand. But 2 sets really stood out. A buildable space baby, which pairs really well with the buildable spaceman set, and best of all, the ball maze. So the goal is to get the ball round here, through the tunnel, over here, over the seesaw, around the spinny thing, up here, and to end here. Let's give it a go then. Wish me luck. Well, that said, I'm only showing you my successful attempt, and it took me quite a few tries beforehand. Yeah, did it. So by a process of elimination, this last one is tributes. These sets all honour either LEGO themes or anniversaries, or are updated versions of iconic older sets, such as the Blacktron Cruiser and Magisto's Magical Workshop. The Mini Knights Castle celebrates the castle theme, whilst the Micro Rocket Launchpad and Classic Space logo honour the space theme. There are also 3 more Space Babies. Then there's a tribute to the LEGO house with 5 separate builds, as well as 4 separate builds celebrating 60 years of the LEGO brick. Finally, set number 100 celebrates 40 years of LEGO trains. I should really make another LEGO train video. So there we go, 100 free LEGO sets. My favourite was definitely the Mini Modulars, closely followed by the Ball Maze, and the whole series of the historical figures. I really hope they keep that going. Oh, and of course, how can I forget the sticker sheet that made me unreasonably happy. But yeah, I am very tired, and I'm gonna get some sleep now. Thanks again to Whatnot for sponsoring this video. Make sure to sign up using the link or QR code, and then spend your credit for a bonus entry into the giveaway for the chance to win the LEGO Death Star. All thanks to Whatnot.